Most of us know how to stay busy, we know how to fill our calendars, reply to messages quickly, and check tasks off the list, but constantly rushing through the day doesn't mean we're getting the right things done. For years, I thought I just needed better tools or more discipline, but what actually helped was learning 5 simple principles that made a real difference. They helped me stay focused, stop wasting energy on the wrong things, and finally, feel like I was using my time on what truly mattered. In this video, I'll walk you through each one. These are principles that can actually apply today in real life. And if you think you already know what good time management looks like, wait until you hear the last one. It flipped everything I thought I understood. Let's get into the first. Principle 1. Time blocking. Have you ever noticed how fast a free hour can disappear? You tell yourself, I'll finally do that important thing. But then something small pops up. A quick message, a phone call, a bit of scrolling, and suddenly the hour is gone. It's not that you didn't have time, you just didn't protect it. That's exactly why time blocking is so helpful. It turns your best intentions into actual time on your calendar, in your day, with a clear beginning and end. It gives structure to what matters most, before everything else takes over. Here's how it works. Instead of letting the day decide for you, you decide ahead of time what matters most and block off specific hours for it in your calendar. For example, if learning is important to you, block 8 to 9 a.m. each day as learning time. Use it to read, take an online course, or practice a skill. If your energy is highest in the morning, block that time for creative work like writing or problem solving. You can also block time for exercise, deep focus, or even rest. Why does this work? Because our brains tend to go with whatever feels easiest in the moment. If there's no plan, we default to checking email, social media, or small tasks that don't move us forward. But when your calendar clearly says 10 to 11 project work, it's easier to stay on track. This method also reduces decision fatigue. You don't need to decide what to do next every hour. You've already made the decision when you built your day. Time blocking isn't rigid. You can adjust it as needed. But having a structure, even a flexible one, helps protect your time from distractions and interruptions. Think of it this way. Time blocking isn't about limiting your freedom. It's about protecting what matters. If you're wondering where to start, here's something simple. Think of one thing you know would improve your life over time, like reading every day, building your side project, or finally finishing that course. Now choose a fixed time in your day to do it. Just 1 hour, same time every day, if you can, and actually add it to your calendar. It might feel small, but you'll be surprised how different the whole day feels when you protect even a small piece of it. Principle 2. Parkinson's Law. Have you ever noticed how quickly you get things done? When you're about to go on vacation, suddenly, in just one morning, you reply to emails, clean up loose ends, finish that one task you've been putting off for a week, and somehow, it all fits into half a day. That's Parkinson's Law in action. It says, work expands to fill the time available for its completion. In other words, the more time you give a task, the more time it takes. So, if you plan to write a report in 4 hours, it will probably take 4. But if you give yourself just 1 focused hour, you'll find a way to finish it because the limit forces your mind to get clear and cut the fluff. That's why one of the best ways to work smarter is to set shorter, stricter deadlines on purpose. Think of it like a game. Let's say you need to tidy up your workspace. Give yourself 10 minutes and see how much you get done. Or if you've been meaning to brainstorm ideas for a new project, try doing it in 20 minutes instead of 1 hour. You can always improve it later, but this way you actually start. The point isn't to rush. It's to stop letting tasks quietly stretch into more time than they deserve. Because when you shrink the time, you sharpen the focus. So, next time you're about to start something, try this little challenge. Set a timer, make it tighter than usual, and see what happens. You might be surprised how much faster you really are when time isn't wide open. Principle 3. I don't have time isn't always true. Almost everyone says it, and almost no one questions it. I don't have time. We say it when someone suggests we start exercising, when we think about learning a new language, or even just sitting quietly for 10 minutes a day. But the truth is, most of the time, we're not being honest. Because if we're really honest, it's not that we don't have time. It's that we've chosen to give that time to something else. Think about this. We say we don't have time to cook, but we somehow always have time to order food and scroll while we eat. We say we're too busy to read, but we read dozens of short posts online every single day. It's not about time, it's about attention and priorities. So one simple but really effective thing I did was write it down. I made a list of 3 things I kept saying I didn't have time for. And next to each one, I asked myself, if I really wanted to, where could I make space for this? So here's something simple you can try. Pick 3 things you've told yourself you don't have time for lately, then ask yourself calmly and clearly, is that really true? Or am I choosing something else instead? You might be surprised at what you discover and how quickly things can change once you call it what it island. Principle 4. Daily highlight. It's easy to feel like every day needs to be filled with activity, that the more things we check off, the more successful we've been. But the truth is, doing a lot doesn't always mean doing what matters. That's where the idea of a daily highlight can make a huge difference. The concept is simple. At the start of each day, choose just one thing, one clear task that matters most. Something that, if completed, would make the entire day feel meaningful and worthwhile. It could be preparing a healthy meal instead of ordering out, completing an important report, or just putting your phone down to be fully present with someone you love. What matters isn't the size of the task, but how much it aligns with what truly feels important. By choosing a highlight, the day gains direction. There's less pressure to do everything and more focus on doing something that counts. This also helps cut through the noise, because instead of reacting to whatever shows up, there's a clear intention guiding the way. Some days will still be messy. There will still be emails, meetings, distractions, but no matter how messy the day becomes, finishing that one highlight can create a real sense of progress. It's a small habit that makes the day feel like it meant something. So here's a suggestion to try. At the beginning of the day, take 30 seconds to ask what's the one thing that would make today feel like a win. And if you're open to it, share yours in the comments. What's your daily highlight today? Just one thing, one clear focus. That's all it takes to shift the direction of a day. Principle 5. Every yes is also a no. Some of the most time-consuming things in your day don't even belong to you. Let's say you've finally set aside 1 hour to do something that really matters to you. Maybe plan your week, stretch your body, or just listen to a podcast that inspires you. But then your phone buzzes. A coworker asks, "Can you take a quick look at this?" It sounds simple, so you say yes. That small sure turns into 30 minutes of edits, 10 follow-up questions, and by the time you look up, the hour you had for your own work is gone, and so is your energy. This doesn't happen because we're careless, it happens because we care. We want to be supportive. We don't want to be rude. We think, if I don't do it, who will? Or, I don't want to let them down. But here's the trade-off. Every yes to something unimportant is a silent no to something important. And what we trade away is focus, progress, and the quiet space we need for things that actually matter. That's why learning to say no isn't just about setting boundaries. It's about making space for the life we actually want to build. Now, this doesn't mean we become selfish or unhelpful. It just means we need to be more thoughtful. Try it with me. I'm sorry, that is not my job. I wish I could, but I don't have the time right now. No, but I can help you figure out who might. When we start saying no to the things that don't belong to us, we finally start saying yes to the life we actually want. Alright, let's go over the 5 principles again. Time blocking is like drawing a clear box on your calendar and saying, "This hour is mine." It could be for writing, learning, resting, whatever matters most. With Parkinson's law, it helps to notice how a simple task often stretches to fill whatever time we give it. So instead of 2 hours for one task, set a 25-minute timer and see how focused you become. And for "I don't have time," the real shift happens when we stop saying, "I don't have time," and start asking, "Am I choosing to spend my time on this?" The moment we realize we're the ones choosing, we start to feel more in control. With Daily Highlight, think of a to-do list, lots of small items, and then one circle around the most important one. That's your highlight. And finally, the power of number imagine. 2 doors. One leads to your own priorities, the other to whatever someone else just asked. Saying no kindly but clearly is how you keep walking through the right door. Now, depending on how you live and work, some of these principles might fit better than others. You might start with just one, or mix a few in your own way. That's the beauty of it. This isn't about strict systems. It's about finding what helps you feel more present, more in control, more aligned with what matters most to you. And now, hit like if you found this helpful, and subscribe if you want more videos like this every week. Thanks for spending your time here, really.